my government for free secondary education for all the people of our age.
Akarijan declares resolve in spite of irregularities and dares the NPP to go to court. The race begins for the timely discovery of irregularities notwithstanding several challenges. Security forces raid analysis team and destroy computers and some of the pink sheets. Bawumia escaped death in an accident but appears as a star witness at the Supreme Court.
So the polling agent that represented the first petitioner testified, and that
there was overvoting as well as voting without biometric verification.
And are you able to show us on which part of that pin sheet he certified that there was overvoting? Is there a place where he certifies that there was...
He certifies to the information on this pin sheet,
okay,
including the overvoting.
On the case that you are making, the votes of those who voted for Nana Akufo-Addo would also be annulled. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
According to your proposition.
It's according to the proposition of the second respondent and according to the law that if you have overvoted, even if it is by one vote, that those votes will be annulled. And similarly, if you are voting without biometric verification, my lord, those votes would also be annulled.
Case is that those votes in that polling station where one person, according to you, voted without being verified, those votes should be annulled. Isn't that your case?
Yes, my lord. You and I were not at the polling station. You and I were not at the polling station. The vote was organized by the second respondent. The second respondent says nobody voted.
In the face of the pin sheet, you do admit in these two that I just put to you. On the face of the pin sheet,
we don't make the decision whether to come here and ask for nullification on the face of the pin sheet. In this case, we look at the voters register to see if they are actually allowed to vote without verification. How many people in that polling station?
How are you able to tell?
Well, as I said earlier, for each polling station, the number of people who are allowed to vote without verification are listed for each polling station for the FOs. So if you have more than one person or just one in the C3 and there's one person or more allowed to vote, you don't really want to count that. But as we said, the second respondent says nobody voted without verification. That is their response, and we are showing that people did vote without verification. But you and I were not there, so we go with what the second respondent said.
No citizen of Ghana who has a constitutional right to vote can just have his vote just arbitrarily taken away from him. You would agree with that?
Well, my lords, I'm not a lawyer, but the Constitution talks about valid votes, only valid votes. And so if your votes are not valid, they will not be counted, and the Constitution, and my understanding, anticipates that.
On the other polling station sheet, exactly the same names appear. Is that not correct?
Exactly. So,
and that cannot happen. I mean, that cannot be correct.
That should not be correct. In fact, it has.
So there must be an error.
Yeah.
There must be an error. Can you agree with me?
And we have brought 35 polling stations under the duplicate polling station code category. And most of these 35 polling stations have this type of problem. Joasu Court Hall was one such polling station where we had 3 different pin sheets for the same polling station, and the presiding officer's signatures were different for the same polling station. And this time, a lot of the 35 polling stations that we brought to this court as having duplicate polling station codes have this peculiar problem of there's 2 different sheets with separate signatures and that sort of thing. So this is part of the problem that we have in the record of this election.
There is an exhibit that you have Attached to your affidavit is Exhibit 5998 with a certain polling station. Now, you're giving a different polling station that exhibit number, which is already in evidence.
Well,
that's what you're doing.
There is an error, but there is no dishonesty. If you want to be honest with the court, let us put down my analysis. If you are not afraid of the truth, let us put down my analysis and show me one repeated polling station in my analysis. If you are afraid of the truth, then of course you will hide behind these exhibits.
I'm grateful to my co-petitioners, the National Chairman, Joko Beche-Bilante, and my running mate, Dr Mahamudu Bawumia, for their hard work, dedication and commitment as we pursued the legal options available to us.